Every time I ride home from school, I'm pretty beat. I put in a full day teaching and then night class. I want to turn everything off, shut down my brain, and point the car to get home safe enough. A lot of times I listen to music. A lot of times I put on the radio and turn it up real loud. Most of the time, though, I listen to National Public Radio. They'll run a story that keeps me thinking during one of the few times in my week when it's quiet and I'm alone. This night, I heard something special.
For our GeoQuiz today, we were looking for an East African capital that is abuzz with the sound of cell phones. The answer is Nairobi, Kenya, where there's currently a cell phone revolution going on. A drastic drop in cell phone rates has customers chatting and texting with abandon. That's due to the arrival of the India-based telecom giant Bharti Airtel into the African market. Bharti Airtel triggered a price war which has slashed prepaid cell phone rates anywhere from 50 to 75%. And it has made many customers who had endured a virtual telecom monopoly until last month very happy.
We have suffered under their yoke for long. We are breaking from the yoke of slavery. Oh, there's freedom. Yeah, so everything must be new.
Wait a minute. Slavery? Cell phones? Well, we are bound to our phones in a bunch of different ways.
Well, I didn't have a phone up till the end of 9th grade. I remember when I first got it, I was really psyched about it, getting everyone's number on the football team. Just easier to call up people to hang out. And before that, didn't really hang out with people as much. It's just easier to contact, and everyone else uses it. And that's what they're used to. Like, if you don't call them up from their cell phone or text them, they're probably not going to answer you. My friends don't really answer their house phones, so they just don't bother with it. Now that I have a phone, they just feel more open to hang out as soon as you hit them up.
I guess the main thing is it's just convenient to use when you're trying to get a hold of somebody, to hang out or talk to or text or something. Anything around those lines, because that's how everyone else functions in my generation, or at least in my school. Just trying to get a hold of somebody.
Since I've been without my phone for a few days, like I said, trying to get in contact with people has been a little harder. But there's not only cell phone use, but there's also Facebook you can use, or email, or some kind of internet, MySpace, whatever. You can still try and talk with people like that. And also the house phone if need be, try and call up somebody. But it hasn't been a major deal, just less of a convenience. Going up to the phone store, something's wrong with it, something wrong with the charger of the phone itself. gonna be getting my phone back in proper working order, either call people to hang out more easily over Facebook, because I'd have to like wait till they'd log on the internet or whatever to get a hold of them. And, pretty much just easier to get in contact.
Freshman year, I only turned my phone on when I wanted to make a phone call. And by the end of the year, I would turn it off at night, but it was on the rest of the time. And now it's on, I sleep with it. Like, it's always a foot away from me. And I can't imagine not having that anymore. As a college student, my phone is my social network at this point, and I cannot be without it, because to do so is just extremely rude. And there are certain understandings that my age group has. Like, a phone call is very different from a text message. The meaning is completely different depending who it's from. You know, this person is angry at you because they didn't call, or this person wants to get to know you better, so they texted. It's very complicated. The least personal thing you can do for someone is send an email. Slightly above that is sending a Facebook message. Slightly above that is a Facebook chat. That's personal and sort of much more outgoing. Above that is sending a text message. Above that is a phone call. And the most personal thing you can do is have a face-to-face conversation. But it's harder to talk that way. It's just easier to have a conversation over a computer or over a phone. You get to say more things than you would in a face-to-face conversation. As a stage manager, it's really important not only that I have my phone on, but that everyone else involved in the production is. Sometimes we won't cast someone if they don't have a cell phone, because then there's no way to communicate with them. If someone's not reachable 24/7, we don't know what to do.
How do I use my phone? How do I see cell phone use currently? I'm just going to preface this with I'm very anti-technology, so I may or may not be a good person to ask about this. I got a cell phone, I guess, 5 or 6 years ago, and for a long time I just used it to make calls that I had to make, that I couldn't wait to make. So it was really kind of for emergencies at first. And then about 2 years ago, I remember someone sending me a text message, and I was so surprised when I saw the little envelope, and I thought, oh, that's a text message. So then I got kind of into texting. I'm a very slow adopter. I still have a phone that does very little because that's what I want. I don't want to access the internet. I don't want to be wedded to my phone 24 hours a day like I see my children are. So I really just use my phone for calling friends, my family. I'll text them as well. I don't really want to use it for anything else, and I do realize that that makes me a bit of a dinosaur because everyone else uses it for everything, and it amazes me what you can use a phone for. I sort of feel like we're basically where Star Trek was, you know, that you just whip out your communicator and you can do anything with it. I have a BlackBerry, I have a laptop, and I have a BlackBerry for my job. I'm concerned that everyone is constantly on their BlackBerry, and I guess that's the point, but people go to meetings and they're playing with their BlackBerry the whole time, so they're kind of engaged and kind of not. I don't really see that as progress. I don't really see it as healthy that you are always at the end of your BlackBerry or your phone when it comes to work, and so people can and do communicate with you 24 hours a day and expect a response back. I see that as we're kind of well-paid slaves at this point, or at least that's what I think we're becoming. So I don't think it's good that we've done that to ourselves, and I'm fighting it, but I'm seen as sort of an oddity because I don't want to answer emails at 10 o'clock at night. So I'm fighting a losing battle, I realize. But I don't know that technology has done us a great favor. I think it has just turned us into a lot of addicts.
How I use my phone? Take pictures. This phone's awesome because I can use it for literally anything. When I need somewhere to go, I can look up where to go. If I need, like, if I want to play golf and I'm in New Jersey, I can just locate where I am, type in a golf course, call a golf course, find its address, and get directions to it. And I'm there. Obviously, I use it to talk with friends and family all the time. With, like, I text message nonstop. I probably text message more. Like, I've talked to people through text message way more than I do through a call. Text messages are quicker. You can do them pretty much while doing anything. You know, if you're in a movie, you can call, you can text message someone there. If you're driving, you can text message. Although that one might not be good. Oh, the coolest thing by far is we have a Netflix subscription. I can watch like full movies and full TV series on my phone, which is just mind-boggling. And then I guess lastly, I use it for work all the time because I have an internet and email on it. I mean, obviously the work I do, I have to call people, I have to be on the phone all the time. I have to be able to receive and respond to emails at all time. I have to be up on the news. I've got, you know, a number of different news publications up on here. There's like apps made specifically for my job that go to my phone, so that instead of, you know, doing things that at one point would carry, I would need, you know, stacks of paper and awkward clipboards carrying things around, I can just do it on my phone, hit that, and it's done. Don't say that. They would be bad. Don't say that. They would be bad. If I lose this thing, it's not gonna be good. Sure. No, absolutely. Gotcha, yeah. Damn it, you're right. Damn it, you're right. I'm over right now. I don't like it.
I use it only for phone calls, the kind of typical thing, just getting in touch with people. Yeah, for little things, like, ask one question to somebody very quickly that you need a simple response to. It's easier to do that than to talk on the phone, especially because I don't know exactly why, but it's kind of, if you call somebody, it's a little more intrusive, in that, like, you're asking them to step away from what they're and kind of be involved in this conversation, whereas texting isn't really like a conversation. It's just an offhand thing that can be done without really interrupting what someone else is doing, unless, of course, they're... I resisted getting the phone for as long as possible. I kind of... There was a time when I didn't think I needed to be able to contact everybody I knew at any moment, which, you know, now is kind of strange to think of. It's not, to most people, it's not a marvelous device anymore. It's kind of a miracle thing, and to me, I guess it isn't either. It's just, it's a real convenience to be able to reach somebody if you need to. Whether this advent of new technology is good or bad, I really can't say. Things change. We should try to change with them, but it's hard to know where something as powerful as this can go. I think it's the same as the car, the original telephone. It's a total game changer, and of course, a lot of bad things are going to come out of that. But just as many innovations and good things can come from it too. I think it's all on how you use it and what comes out of it. Something different I do see about this that the previous technologies weren't as fraught with was the impossibility of regulation. the amount of power that somebody has in the palm of their hand, you know, to be able to record anything at any moment and send it somewhere else, that's not something that we can control like you can with a driver's license or anything else.
Easier to contact, and everyone else uses it.
I'm just going to preface this with I'm very anti-technology, so I may or may not be a good person to ask about this.
Don't say that. They would be bad.
The amount of power that somebody has in the palm of their hand.
The idea of community and the definition of community is really changing.
Yes, the culture is changing. Without phone books, how will we know who is the strongest man? Who's our best actor? Where will our fingers do their walking? I use my phone to take calls and make calls. I prefer personal, face-to-face communication and don't really think that texting is worth the trouble. It seems to be too much work for too little information. Trivial Pursuit and Quizzo are no fun if everyone has an iPhone. While all the information contained in the world's libraries is available at the press of a touchscreen, there's very little depth of understanding today. We know stuff, but without context. Our world has become an exclamatory burst of facts without any effort to seek connections. The more I think about the changes coming from our increasing reliance on cell phones, the more I become worried. We've traded away the ability to lock the office door for the day and be out of touch. The anxiety produced by constant calls, emails, and text messages deadens our attempts to be reflective, pensive, tranquil. We're forced to search for new ways to ponder.